Patients are in diapers because they're breathless, so we can't let them go to the bathroom because what if they collapse in the bathroom? That's also happened in the absence of class 4 workers.
The voices in this video are anonymous to protect the identity of young doctors who are scared and worried about speaking out. India's medical fraternity is leading from the front when it comes to coronavirus. House officers and resident doctors do much of the fieldwork, and yet little is known about their specific struggles.
So basically, when you work in a COVID ward, the problem is that everyone who enters obviously has to be in complete PPE. So because you have limited staff, you kind of do it in shifts. So the amount of staff that we before had in the ICU or in the wards at one time is now decreased. And everyone wants to decrease their exposure. So, after every 6 to 8 hours, people are changing shifts. So because of that, there are fewer people available for every shift in the ICU. So there'll be times when I'm alone. It just makes every shift a little harder. And any day working in PPE is hard.
With the monsoons and monsoon-related diseases like dengue or malaria, the worst is yet to come. We're predicted to see a surge in cases in the maximum city. So how are young doctors preparing to handle this impending crisis?
There's no air conditioning, obviously. All hospitals don't have that. So it's hot. You can't obviously go to the toilet. You start getting dehydrated really fast. Have a decrease in the sanitation workers, basically the mama maushis who come and they clean and they were basically responsible for taking care of patients, so cleaning them, giving them, wet pants or diapers and giving them water and, taking care of them because everyone in the ICU is extremely critical. So no one can get up and walk or go to the bathroom.
Because class 4 workers are there, their diapers don't get changed throughout the whole day and, they're there in their own urine and feces throughout the entire day. Imagine 24 hours in a state like that. It's really dehumanizing.
Because suddenly there's a lot more pressure on you. You're doing things that you didn't have to do before, like even loading medicines. And for a doctor, you're not used to doing that. So, it's a challenge to find where different drugs are kept also, because you're just not used to it. Your job is different and nurse's job is different. You kind of absorb different jobs.
They're like a mess in the ward. Food falls and blood spills and fluids everywhere and the floors get dirty. Old dressings just littered on the floor everywhere. You need someone to clear that out also. The garbage bags which they heap up inside the ward, that's so unhealthy for everyone involved.
The stress, the pressures, and the overwhelming responsibilities of doctors is often worsened by a lack of class 4 workers. But these workers have their own struggles. They're often hired as contractual labor, and so they're not part of the hospital system. They're often given delayed payments. Home quarantine is often not an option for them because they live in small spaces, especially in a cramped city like Mumbai. So the risks of working in a COVID hospital or a COVID ward are just too high against the many insecurities they face.
जो संख्या कम थी ना उनकी वो तो थी, लेकिन साथ में भी वो लोग कुछ लोगों ने काम किया, वो हॉस्पिटल में आए, उनमें से कई लोग पॉजिटिव हुए, कई लोगों को टेंशन था कि होम आइसोलेशन बोला या ड्यूटी से घर जाने के लिए उसके घर में मुंबई जैसी सिटी में 5, 6, 7, 8 लोग रहते एक रूम में, तो उसने शायद वो फैमिली को चूज किया ड्यूटी से, ऐसा भी हो सकता है.
What happens in COVID is they get breathless, so the carbon dioxide in their blood keeps building, and because of that, they're not in their senses fully. So they're like a danger to themselves and to others around them. So you need to restrain them
Oh God.
onto
Wow.
their beds. Yeah, you have to tie them down. And like usually the class 4 workers do that. Now that even we have to do that. Like I'm literally like leaving my rounds to go and I tie them down so that they stop taking off their own mask. Because that's the first thing that your patients like that do. And once they take off their mask, they get worse that much faster.
And it's just sad to see patients also going through that, because before, again, they had their relatives to come in and help if, there was no one else to do it. But now that's also not allowed. So it's kind of a lot of other responsibilities that's added to your normal job that you are anyway doing. That is making, every shift a little bit harder.
And be a lot more effective in saving lives if we had help with that, so we could focus on the actual medical management of it. Because, if a patient's asking for water, we're not going to stop, we're not going to say, no, we can't. How can we? That would be inhuman. We give them water. And we do all those things. We do shift them. We do carry them out of the bathroom when it's like when they collapse in there.
What they need to really focus in on is hiring more people. There's X amount of work to be done and there are only so many people. So even amongst us, like we can plan, change our shifts and things like that. But beyond that, administration can't do much until more people are hired. In terms of money, it's being held. Even we aren't getting paid regularly at all. We're getting our pay at least 15, 20 days later.
Despite their fears and despite the many issues they face, not showing up for their duty is just not an option for these young, brave COVID warriors.
We never thought of that as an option only. We can't come to work. Because we've always come to work.
जैसे डॉक्टर है तो डॉक्टर के ऊपर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी रहता है, वो ही इज आंसरेबल ना.
When we work in an ICU on a ward, even just watching a patient recover is the kind of motivation to keep you going.